Or do you have a news thing, or what do you got going on today?
Yeah, no, I know. I sort of noticed that as well, so I'm beginning to sort of tailor what the way I've got it set up around that. Um, so we can, however you like.
News then. Rockford tone for Classic Rock 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T. It is time for Pop. All right, takes you.
What?
Rockford's home for Classic Rock 96.7, The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T. It's time for Bar Cube. I can't say it. Oh, my God. I'm glad I edit this because it would end up somewhere, that's for sure. Rockford's home for Classic Rock 96.7, The Eagle. Good morning. It is Double T. It is time for Bar Comedy USA News with comedian Jared-Dog. Jared-Dog, what's happening today, buddy?
Good morning, Double T. Welcome to Bar Comedy USA News. In today's top headline, and that'd be real cool with that some echo. In today's top headline, world-renowned stand-up comedian and promoter Jeremy Danley was reported as questioning his life choices while stuck at the Atlanta airport for 12 hours last Thursday.
So if people aren't familiar with it, that's you. You are Jeremy Danley, a.k.a. the mighty Jared-Dog.
Yes, well, that is what has been reported according to sources. That may or may not be the case. There is substantial evidence that supports that whether I may or may not be Jared-Dog or Jeremy Danley or Farley Dud.
You traveled down to Florida for a comedy show, so the stop off in Atlanta, was it on the way there or on the way back?
That's right. It was supposed to be a connecting flight, and, then delay after delay after delay occurred. And, I don't necessarily want to name names on your show just in case it might be a sponsor.
It's all good, man. I appreciate that. But what was for all the delays? What was going on? Was it mechanical? Was it weather? Was it something else?
Well, Double T, I don't know. It wasn't weather because the weather was beautiful. But then again, who knows? I mean, maybe it was like a rookie airline and he couldn't handle too much sunlight. a rookie pilot couldn't handle too much sunlight. I don't know. But it was delay after delay after delay. I got to tell you, Double T, once we finally landed, I got out of there. It felt like I spent the night in jail.
Did you feel like how Tom Hanks felt in that one movie, he's stuck in the airport?
I felt how Tom Hanks felt in that movie Castaway when he was stuck on the desert island with nothing to eat but coconuts.
See, that's even worse than the terminal.
Double T, I got to tell you, by the end of it, I was bawling my eyes out. I was sobbing. I was losing my mind because I'd lost my pet volleyball.
Oh, no, Wilson!
That's how psychologically traumatized I was over the experience.
So what do you do for 12 hours in the Atlanta airport?
Well, I'll tell you what you don't do. I'll tell you, you don't try to find a seat near the gate.
Apparently they were all taken?
There are only like 12. It makes no sense. There's 12 seats near the gate. You know you've got more people than that in line. You know you have more people than that needing to fly.
Right. Yeah, I mean, unless you're, flying some puddle jumper, there's definitely more than 12 seats on an airplane.
Absolutely. And so it was a little bit cramped, needless to say. And I shared a seat with, I can't remember his name. But I'll tell you, Double T, it felt exactly like the night that I had spent after a DUI.
Oh, not good. No, not at all.
Except in this case, I didn't sober up. I proceeded to intoxicate myself.
Well, you weren't
flying
the plane? It's all right. You're good.
Yeah, I wasn't flying the plane. Absolutely not. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine me trying to fly the plane?
Oh, gosh, no. Please, no, never.
I'm not sure, like, if you could do, like, if you fly the plane the way you drive a car, I'm not sure that I would, you can't go, like, less than the speed limit in an airplane. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's nowhere you can just pull over for a little bit. But
Dude,
you do have a co-pilot. You do have a co-pilot, and I think it was their first time ever landing a plane as well.
oh, was it bumpy, huh?
A little bit. A little bit. You know,
Did they at least
it's not
they
as
at
much fun as it used to be.
did they at least give you a food voucher or buy you some drinks or something?
Well, this is what was interesting, Double T, is while I was in line at the gate, you're only allowed to bring so much for a carry-on. And I
Yeah, of
had a
course.
canteen bottle that was attached to my backpack. And the canteen bottle fell off of the backpack, and I just carried it with my hand. And then they considered that to be my personal carry-on, and then I had to pay another $100 to bring on my backpack.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, totally serious. So that's what I'm saying. I'm questioning life choices. I'm questioning life choices. I had a great time, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit, performing in Winter Haven, Florida at the Laugh Out Lounge. But in order to get there, I'm just not sure it's worth the trade-off. Double T, it's like, hey, you can go perform for people who are drinking, tell them a bunch of beer jokes, and have a great time. But before you do that, you got to spend 12 hours in the Atlanta airport sitting next to Charlie, the tow truck driver, in a shared gate bench.
So there was nothing in between you guys?
It's those little metal arm rails that
At least
only
there's
one person can use at a time.
right. I was getting concerned for a minute that you guys were like on a love seat together in the
It might as well have been that.
So the traveling there, was that getting there or coming back?
That was the getting there. That was the
So-
getting there. Once we arrived, it was amazing. I had an amazing time, and absolute shout out to the Laugh Out Lounge, Winter Haven, Florida. Double T, this is the other part of bar comedy news I want to report on. Very, very thriving comedy scene in Winter Haven, Florida. It's another one of those diamond in the rough establishments where it's an intimate audience. Not as intimate as the experience that I had at the Atlanta airport, but just the right amount of intimacy in order to make it a fantastic comedy show.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say it's better when the audience is tight, but not packed in uncomfortable like sardines.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. But I'm thinking Florida, I mean, what was the average age of the person in the audience, like 85?
Well, I'll tell you, the last time I played in Florida, it was at a casino, and the 80% of the audience was over the age of 80. And they didn't laugh at any of my material, and they were only there because they got a free ticket for dropping their entire Social Security check in a slot machine.
and they were digesting their buffet afterwards, right?
They were digesting their buffet. They complained about everything. The waitress was rude. The comedian was vulgar. I'm like, lady, you got about 18 days left to live. You're going to complain about my show? But this weekend at the Laugh Out Lounge in Winter Haven, Mike and Jessica, the owners and operators of the establishment, they've got a really good crowd in there. They bring in a lot of fun people. The crowd there is it's a good mix. It is a little bit older, but that's a little bit my demographic. So when you talk about raising kids, they don't stare at you blankly. They can perfectly relate.
Like, kids, what's that? I don't get it.
Yeah, you kind of age out of some of these shows. I used to be the perfect fit for like a college gig because I was sort of like the trash talking frat boy. But you can't go play the audience where you're just about to make fun of their exact demographic.
Well, how was the party? I mean, the show sounded like it went well. The audience sounded like it was cool. How was the partying in Florida?
The partying in Florida was absolutely fantastic, and I got to say, if I had to choose whether I was spending the 12 hours stuck in an airport on the front or the back, at least I didn't have to do that while I was hungover.
Oh, see, that would have been the worst. Would have been horrible.
100%. And there's only one thing worse than stuck on an airplane hungover, and that's when you're stuck on the airplane after having digested 100 milligrams of THC.
It's Bar Comedy USA News with comedian Jared Dog. Jared Dog, where can people find you? And you got anything else fun coming up?
Well, hey, man, this is going to be my first weekend, Thanksgiving weekend in Las Vegas. So I'm going to be excited to report about that next week with you. Otherwise, we've also got the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour coming back to Clinton, Wisconsin. That's your neck of the woods. And that is going to be the December 7th. And then this weekend, lots of fun stuff all over the country for Thanksgiving weekend. Illinois, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. So the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour, bringing live comedy, the nooks and crannies of America. BarComedyUSA.com.
Very, very cool. It's comedian Jared Dog on Rockford's Home for Classic Rock, 96.7 The Eagle. I had one of those days in the Las Vegas airport, dude. That sucked.
In the Las Vegas airport?
Yeah, and I was so hungover. It was after being, in Vegas for 4 days. And I was stuck. It was at least 12 hours, if not more, man. That was, I felt so horrible.
Yeah, it's not a fun experience. And it's kind of weird, too, because it's like you're in a mall. But it's also like if the mall was in a prison.
Right, and it's like a mall where like everything's closed because there's like not a lot. There's like one bookstore and maybe a couple of restaurants, and that's it.
That's right. You probably spent more money stuck in the Las Vegas airport than you actually spent while in Las Vegas.
Right, and that was the thing. Like, by the time that rolled around, I was broke, so I couldn't even, sit and gamble or
couldn't
anything.
even enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And you're miserable because you're just going back to Rockford.
Right, exactly.
At the end of it.